We'll edit that out later.
We'll get a camera one day.
So grandpa got clean at 21.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember my grandpa. So my grandfather, from what I know, he drank a lot through the service, and he had stopped drinking cold turkey when he met my grandmother. And I was actually raised in an LDS family, and for whoever doesn't know what the fuck that is,
I do.
I grew up Mormon. I was raised in a Mormon family. I was baptized into the church at 8 years old. I just I grew up like kind of a strict life, and there was always two sides to my life. There was the church-going life on Sunday, and I just couldn't wait to get out of church because I knew all my friends were out there riding, skating, and doing their thing. And I remember church just felt like I was kind of miserable. And, eventually, I grew out of that because I knew, I just wanted to party. So, really, all the structure and the religious structure that I was put into as a kid just made me kind of want to rebel. And I didn't quite understand what was going on as a child, so much as I just wanted to just get fucking annihilated all the time. I wanted to drink. And from a young age, I remember that all kids that I ran around with would drink, smoke weed. Vicodin was big in high school, and pills and stuff like that. But we'd go to someone's house and I'd go straight for their parents' liquor cabinet.
Dude, it's a trip. I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you,
you're
but
good.
I was telling a story last night. The pill situation. Every time I'd go to a party, I went straight for the medicine cabinet.
Right.
Straight for the medicine.
What can I get
Yeah.
in here, dude?
Yeah.
What can I take?
Yeah.
And you find out at a young age, I'll try this one. Okay, well, I'll have a beer with this one.
Mix and match.
Mix and match, right? And it's I just remember it just wanting to get fucked up all the time, and I couldn't wait for the weekend. I couldn't ever wait for the weekend. Where's the party at? Where are we getting drunk at? We'd just drive around and mostly hang out at Del Taco here by the police station. Trunk full of beer, and we'd get smashed. And, I used to show up to the beach through high school, and I'd be so hungover. The only thing that would get me sober is just to paddle out in the water. And the first wave I'd go under, I'd be like, shit, I'm good now, until I started drinking again on the beach. Multiple occasions of getting fucked up everywhere I go. I was a drunk. I was a drunk all the way through high school. Bad. I didn't care. I'd show up to school, drink at 8 in the morning, and sleep through class. I don't think there was a day when I went to high school, Ocean View High School freshman year, and I was fucking solid there. I actually had a 3.2 GPA. I played some sports, but all my friends that I liked to hang out with were at Huntington, and eventually I transferred schools.
Just to be with your friends?
Yeah.
Really?
So I could go to the party.
Yeah.
For me, it was the party.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was party.
And you had to transfer high
I
school
had to transfer
so you
high
didn't miss out on the
Yeah,
party.
I didn't want to miss out on the party. I remember it was sophomore year out. I don't think there was a day when I was at school that I wasn't fucked up on something. Alcohol, weed, or whatever I was doing. I did it to the fullest. I didn't care about grades. I didn't bring anything to school with me. I didn't bring a pencil or a notebook or anything. I just went to class to get fucked up. I knew there was a problem, but I didn't know really what that problem was. And as I got a little older, there was always the people that would be like, oh, don't do this. I'd be like, why? you know?
Mhm.
And I found out why,
Yeah.
you know, the hard way.
The hard way.
Yeah.
Like we like to do to ourselves.
I definitely found out why the hard way.
Yeah.
When I started using, I think I was about 17 the first time I did heroin.
You smoke it?
Yeah,
Smoked it.
yeah, 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
A friend of mine asked me to drive him to Santa Ana, and you know, that friend's no longer with us. He goes, Johnny, will you drive me? I go, of course I will, Chuck. You know,
Mhm.
like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, all right, let's go. So we drive out to Santa Ana and get some fucking tar, and he shows me how to smoke it, and I smoke it, and I'm like, well, that was gay. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I knew we were doing something, and I didn't really know what we were doing, but we were getting high on something, and I really didn't really feel it the first time
Yeah.
around. And, you know, later I used more heroin, and I was like 18, and I started using more heroin, and it only took a couple times. You know, I got high, and I was smoking it on foil or whatever.
Chasing the dragon.
Yeah. I remember like the first time waking up, I was like, God damn, my legs hurt, dude.
Mhm.
Why? You know, I called my buddy,
Yeah.
not that guy, but another guy that fucking, I go, dude, what the fuck is wrong with me? And he goes, oh, you're kicking. I go, what? He goes, you're kicking. Come over, I'll get you well. I went to his house so fast, dude. I just remember taking one hit and being like, oh, fuck, I feel good.
Yeah.
From there on out, like, I knew that this is what I needed to do, and you know, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into until later. Mind you, I'm right out of high school. I'm getting strung out on heroin.
Mhm.
And now I knew I was doing a drug that I could shoot up.
Yeah.
I knew that the rock stars used needles.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, here I am smoking heroin. And I just like I was an alcoholic, I wanted to be the extremist that I was, and I couldn't wait to shoot up. Mind you, like through high school, I was doing so much coke and drinking. And pretty much whatever you had, I wanted it.
Mhm.
I didn't know, I just knew junkies shot up heroin.
Yeah.
That's all I knew, and that's all I cared about.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing heroin, I'm like, well, when can I start shooting this shit up?
Do you remember the first time you shot up?
Yeah.
Did you teach yourself, or
No.
see? I taught myself. Well, my dad shot muscled it the first time, but
Yeah.
actually hitting a vein.
Huh.
That's why my scars are all kinds of gnarly.
The first time I shot up was coke.
Just straight coke.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah.
instant paranoia for me, at least. I mean,
I was like 19 years old, and we were sitting in my house in my uncle's room, and he shot me up with coke. And I remember after I watched him, everything, register. Oh, that was easy.
yeah. Off
Just
and running.
off and running, dude. I was stuck in the bathroom. Coke, heroin, mix it.
Yeah.
I'm the speedball fanatic,
Ooh, that was my shit.
and I loved it. I fell in love. I instantly fell in love, and I couldn't explain why. It was that rush that I was always looking for.
It was a trip. The best explanation I've heard of it was blasting off to the moon and parachuting back down.
Oh yeah,
You know,
instantly.
the coke
I-
gives you the rush. The heroin gives you the.
I want, like, my friends used to call me Blue Sheep. And that was before I started doing speedballs, and I'm like, I'm Blue Sheep!
Just owning it?
Owning it, yeah. I absolutely loved shooting coke and heroin together. That's all I did. And I started, after I got strung out, really, the only way I could support my habit was, I got introduced into fucking, they called it racking, and we'd go into the stores and we'd fucking just steal.
Yeah.
And we had a fence, and we'd take our product to the fucking swap meet and sell it.
You just go into the store and just run out with shit, or?
Well, yeah, we'd shop,
Yeah.
load up a cart,
Yeah.
load up bags, and we'd take all kinds of stuff that,
You can turn around.
we'd turn around and sell it for about a third of the price. Mm-hmm. So a good look in the store would, we take a couple grand worth of merchandise and we get like $500-600.
At a street price.
Oh yeah, and that, we'd be off and running, and like I thought I was a fucking gangster, and I'm just some little fucking kid that's shoplifting excessive amounts of just stupid shit, dude. And I hadn't really been in much trouble until I started stealing stuff. Had a DUI or whatever at 19, and then I started getting in trouble stealing stuff, and like I remember like I'd just steal to support my addiction, like every little junkie would.
Yeah, and see, I feel like there's two kinds of people that get in trouble or go to prison or jail, and there's the people that actually steal and hurt people and do the crime for the rush, and then there's people that do the crime to support their habit because they're a junkie. Right. And that was me, like I didn't want to just go out and commit crimes and steal just for the rush. Like I needed to do it to support my habit. That habit took me to places that I would never go, being sober or being what they call normie.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Like that for the longest time there, like you think you're invincible, and we just go from grocery store, drugstore to drugstore all over, from Irvine to Pasadena, and we'd hit like 4 or 5 places in one day, and that was my life. I wake up, go steal, and get high for the longest time. And I remember the first time I got in trouble, it was like a slap on the wrist. I mean, no, it was a misdemeanor charge, and 30 days in jail or whatever, and they gave me Caltrans. I'm like stoked. I didn't do the Caltrans.
Mm-hmm.
I was off and running.
Mm-hmm.
And
now you got a warrant.
I got a warrant, and then I got busted again, and then this time it was like, oh, you're getting charged with grand theft, felony, commercial burglary, and I'm like, can't we just reduce that to a misdemeanor?
Yeah.
They're like, no, dipshit. You just got in trouble, again, for the same shit.
You're gonna manipulate the court.
Right. So now I'm sitting in jail crying like a little fucking baby because I'm fucking locked up and I wanted to get high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried the first time I went to jail.
Did you kick?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like a motherfucker, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I actually went and stayed, I made it to the main, and I got hemmed up coming out of a grocery store over in Huntington on it was a Ralph's on Bolts Chica and Warner.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers, dude. I remember I'm inside. This is, it's my fault.
Yeah,
we went back.
But they're motherfuckers.
They're motherfuckers, yeah.
Because
so this is it. So we go there, and I'm like, okay, well, we just hit this place like the night before, so we're gonna go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Dipshit.
In your clear thinking.
Yeah. I'm all on Klonopin and I'm walking through the store and I come running out with all this shit. And fucking like the floor worker, some paisa dude, straight run and tackle me. There's two of them. They tackled me outside the store. It was like 1 a.m. I'm like, oh man.
And you cannot get away. Huh?
I know I didn't get away from this one. No. I remember kicking the motherfucker square in the chest and they're just like pin me down and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm done. You know?
Yeah.
I went to jail. I got to, finally got to the main, and mind you, I have this fucking wild fucking mohawk. I look like a piece of shit, and I'm like struggling because I'm all fucking dope sick and on Klonopin and moving slow.
Yeah.
And well, before, like, when they were assessing me, the fucking nurse or whoever it was like, do you feel like harming yourself or anyone else? I go, well, no. You know, I'm like, I'm not going to hurt anyone. Why would I do that? You know? But I feel like smashing my head in the wall.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm kicking, like, I feel like literally just smashing my head in the wall and she slapped me with some purple fucking thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't know what she did to me. But when I told her I felt like smashing my head in the wall, they fucking flagged me. And that was the first time I got pretzeled by the fucking deputies.
Mm-hmm.
Slammed into the wall pretzeled because I was moving too slow, taking off my socks. And then after we got dressed out, I remember everyone went one way and I went the other.
Yeah.
I go, where's everyone going?
Yeah.
You know? And then I got to this fucking pod, Elmod, mind you. It's loony bin.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So they take me to Elmod at the main, and I'm like fucking losing it, dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they just put me in on my fucking clothes, and they're like, strip down. I go, what? They go, take off your clothes, put this on. They put me in this fucking leather like blanket suit, and they gave me a fucking mattress and threw me in a cell alone. And come to find out, I was on suicide watch. I had no idea I was on suicide watch.
Really?
Oh yeah, I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a cell naked. I'm fucking tripping.
Yeah.
You know, losing it.
Kicking.
Literally kicking, dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? So.
How long did they keep you there?
I believe I was there for 5 days.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't think they let me go because I like sat in the corner and just like jacked off the whole time. Like a little monkey.
They probably thought
They
you
probably thought I
belonged there, huh?
Yeah, like they're like, this dude's nuts.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like a button on the wall in the cell, and later I found out what the fucking button's for.
Yeah.
But I'd walk up to the button and I'd be like, when am I gonna get out of here? Over.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna, let me out of this? Over.
Yeah,
I kept fucking hitting the button and trying to talk to him,
Yeah. Were they having it?
Oh no. No, they weren't having it. They didn't let me out of that cell for like 5 days. I couldn't shower. I'm sitting on the fucking rack, dude. My nuts smelled so bad, dude. I remember, I'm like, oh, like, I tried to make Pruno. I just remember hearing stories. So I took the oranges that they gave me and I put water in a bag and I used the orange peels and left orange peels in there. That's not how you make Pruno. No. So I'm like, well,
Did you drink it?
I tried to wash my nuts with it. Oh, crazy, dude. I was nuts, And
So where'd they put you after that?
I went to Overflow.
Yeah.
So I was there for a few days, and I went to Overflow, and then to NMod, and there was no politics. I mean, yeah, there was really no politics where I was.
Were you at Lacey?
I was at the main.
At Maine?
So I stayed at the main for, 40-something days, and I finally got out. And, you know, that didn't stop me. Every time I went to jail, it didn't stop me. I kept going to jail. Every time I got out, I got high. You know, countless overdoses.
It's easy to forget that kick when you go into jail and you're kicking and you're telling yourself like, dude, never again. And then you get out and it's like, I don't last even 24 hours before I got a needle in my arm again.
Right.
You know, it's easy to forget.
You know, I'm trying not to talk about too many war stories, but you know, one time like after I'm like on formal probation now.
Mm-hmm.
My PO started violating me a lot. Well, I wonder why, because all I could do is test dirty, and I was always running, and like I had a stroke at 22 at Lacey. I got to Lacey, and I was kicking, and I fell asleep in the loop at Lacey, and I woke up, and then my eye was stuck crooked. I got stuck cross-eyed.
For those, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
No.
but those people that don't know what the Main and Lacey is out here in Orange County, you got Orange County Main Jail, and then you got another jail that's part of Orange County, and it's called Theo Lacey. So,
Right. They send you to one, and then you get to the other.
yeah, you get processed through Maine, and then
Yeah.
they either stay at Maine or shoot to Lacey.
Right. So I got shot to Lacey, and I was kicking, and I remember falling asleep on the floor in the holding cell, and I woke up, and my world was fucked off. I looked at the paisa dude next to me, and I go, hey man, and like, is something wrong with me? He goes, your eye's a little crooked. I go, yeah, because I'm fucking seeing like 3 of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was stuck cross-eyed.
Just woke up one day?
Yeah, just like that. Like, I fell asleep. I was so sick, and just,
Yeah.
I was, just doing all the drugs I was doing. I had a stroke, and I didn't know it was a stroke for a while. You know, I just knew that my eye was stuck crooked. They didn't get me to a doctor for a month. I was only down for, I think I had like 5 months with 2/3 time.
Yeah.
And every 30 days they'd send me out to the fucking doctor. So the first time they sent me to an eye doctor, because they're like, your eye's fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you have 20/20 vision. Now the whole time I was down, they gave me an eye patch in the county, so like I could see straight. If I covered one eye, I could see straight.
Really?
And then I went back to the doctors, and then the third time I went back to the doctors, they did all these tests, and then they're like, oh, well, we believe you had a mild stroke. And I'm like, oh, rad,
Scary.
you know? They're like, we want to do a CAT scan, and I was getting out in like 4 days. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'll just come back later. They let me out of jail, and I wore the eye patch, and the first thing I did when I got out, I got high like a good junkie. And every time I got loaded on opiates, my eye went back to normal.
Really?
So like, I'm like, if I stayed high, my eye was good, and then like, as soon as I got dope sick, I had to put the eye patch on so I could see. So I went on like that for like a year, and then I finally overdosed, and fucking flopped on the kitchen floor in my friend's house, and he revived me. And after that overdose, my eye readjusted, like it's like a light switch, Like, so I fucking fell out hard, and my body reset itself, and then I was good to go.
So for the kids at home, like, that's not,
No,
doesn't mean like overdose and your body's gonna reset. that just happened to happen to Jonny.
I got
and,
lucky.
and I've heard that before, and it still blows my mind of how lucky you got, because it
Right.
could have jacked you up even worse.
Right.
But did that stop you?
No. No. That's just. I lost count of my overdoses after the 11th one.
Isn't it kind of sad that, I mean, you get so accustomed to overdosing that, like, you can shake it off and within the hour be getting loaded again?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
to me, it just blows my mind. Like, usually when people overdose, it's like it puts them out of commission, or they have this epiphany of getting clean and sober. But, well, I mean, with a true hardcore junkie, like, you shake it off, and you got people around you like, hey, just sit down, calm down, and you just want to get away from them so you can go back, like, shake off the cobwebs and go back to your normal programming.
Right. You just don't care.
You don't care.
The one time I overdosed real bad and I actually was hospitalized, I just got out of LA County, and I was there for a quick minute, and nearly 4 months in the county up in LA, and before that I was living in Big Bear, so I wasn't using so much, and at all, really. I just drank a lot. And then I came home, and I, like that story you told me earlier, I just did, this was like piss yellow fucking shot of heroin. And I fell out really bad, and I pissed myself, and like I was dead, and the ambulance came, and they gave me a shot of adrenaline. And then I remember them putting me in the ambulance in front of the house, and on the way from, there's only a mile and a half, or no, it's probably like 2 miles to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, they said they hit me with the paddles 3 times in the ambulance to revive me. And then I get to the hospital, and they said they Narcaned me 4 different times because I kept falling out.
Jesus.
Now I count that as one OD.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, right. But I remember getting released that time. My chest hurt so bad, and I didn't know why, and I had the fucking gnarliest ball rash from pissing on myself, and I didn't stop, dude. I never stopped. I never wanted to stop. I didn't know anything about stopping. I tried to stop before. I've had plenty of help, like family, friends of mine, that like they sent me to Connecticut to try and get help once, and I wound up in a hospital for a week, and I came back home and off and running, and I really didn't know anything about stopping until finally here I am now on formal probation, and I had this PO, dude. Fuck, dude. This PO wanted to save my life, she said, and I was a piece of shit. I was a straight scumbag. I would go, and she wanted me to go to fucking probation every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to work? You need to be here every day.
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck, She goes, whether or not I'm here or not, you need to come down here and check in. So I'm Monday through Friday going to fucking Westcourt, Westminster probation to check in, and she told me she wanted to save my life. Now, she's the one that really started sending me to detox. Mind you, in between detox and county, I maxed out all my county time, and I was well on my way to prison. After the 3rd time I went through detox, the Rock Center, I went through the Rock Center 2011,